So I'm going to turn the power on. Back over here. Just turn the power on. Wait about 10 or 15 seconds for the computer to light up the screen. Okay, this is what the screen's going to look like. And now I've got some presets in here of how I want to set the PLA. And so I can come into here and I can hit prepare, temperature setting, and I can hit a preset for PLA and a preset for ABS if I want. Same thing here. It'll do what I'm going to do. It'll set your nozzle temperature. I'm going to go 215 to warm it up. And the bed I'm going to go to 43 to warm it up. So I'm going to put gold PLA on here. And so I just take a razor blade, cut open the vacuum on the bag. Just open it up and get it out of the bag. The filament is hooked when it's in the bag. So you take the filament out, and I'm going to cut off about the first 2 feet. Don't ever let the end of the filament go on its own, because it'll unwind and then it'll get cross-threaded eventually. And so when you cut it, hang on to it and hang on to it the whole time. And now I'm going to put it on the spool, and then I'm going to feed it up into the feeder. And there's the old filament from the last time. So I've got it hot right now. It's all the way in the tube and all the way to the extruder. I preheated it. So now I'm going to take this little wheel back here, and I'm going to turn the wheel a little bit while it's hot down below. And a little bit will start coming out. So I'm purging the magenta out of there. Then I'm going to take this little lever here and push it down, and I'm going to pull the tube up. Then you have to press on the tab while you pull the filament. So now the filament is out, and I'm going to pull the filament completely out of the tube because it's just hanging there on both ends. Now I'm going to put the spool on, and I'm going to feed the filament up into the hole on the bottom of the filament check, the runout sensor. Put it right in that hole and feed it all the way up into the tube and have it come out this other end. Don't let it come off of the spool while you're winding it. Come off the spool from the back side and go straight up into the hole on the sensor. Come up through the Bowden tube, down, and now it's sticking out here. I'm going to straighten it a little bit with my fingers, just the first 2 or 3 inches of it. And I'm either going to have a blunt end or a sharp end, but I usually put a 45-degree cut. On the end of the PLA, just so it'll go inside easier. So now when I push it down into the hole, it won't go more than about a half an inch, because the gear that's being pressed against the drive wheel has to be released, and so you have to pull this back and then push the filament down about 2 inches. And when you get it down 2 or 3 inches to where it stops, hold the button down and push this down with your fingers while holding this down. So now a little bit of gold came out after the pink, and so it's done a manual purge. I can also do that same purge by coming down to the screen, hitting the in-out button, and hitting the in. I know it's weird, but it's in. And I just put like 25 and hit enter. So now you'll see the thumb wheel is moving really slow, but that's how slow it moves. The motor is moving fast. It's doing a lot of work. And you'll see the filament is coming out. It's going to be 25 millimeters of filament from the filament end, which will be about 50 or 60 millimeter trail on the other end, due to the nozzle being smaller than the filament. So now I'm going to put glue on my build plate where I know that what I'm going to print is in that area. I don't want to fill the whole thing full of glue. I just want to print or put glue where I have to, because it's just a waste of glue. So I just start gluing it, and so now it's all glued. If you don't know how to use a glue stick, ask any 8-year-old in your neighborhood. So then I put it back in on the table, and I line up the little notches there, the little V notches. I line them up. That keeps it from moving. It can move even though it's on a magnetic plate, so keep it locked in like that. And now I'm going to go down and I'm going to pick my program. I'm going to print, and I'm going to print my 5 little geckos. That program there, and I'm just going to hit start. So now the temperature is going to change to the program's temperature, and the 43 is the bed, and then the 100% on the third row is the 100% of the programmed feed rate. And if you're unsure, if you're going slow enough for like your first couple layers, just slow it down. You can hit print speed. You can go 80, enter, so now it's going to be 80%. I'm going to kick this back up to 215, and I do 43 for everything just so I know that it's been changed. And so now it started printing. This line is part of the post processor where it does a little purge line, and I use a skirt around all of my programs so that the filament runs around the part for 2 or 3 times, and I can adjust it up or down. So right now I want the table up a little bit, so I'm going to hit table up twice, and it's going to go 0.05 millimeters each time, and I can actually feel how thick it is because I've done this 5,000 times now, and so I like to get the thickness just right. Even though it sets its own Z, it is off by 0.1 millimeters sometimes, and that makes a difference. So this time it's going to go around 3, and here now it's going to start printing, and so it's printing the beginning of the print job. Over here I've got a large gecko for my ex-mother-in-law, and over here I have some neon little geckos, and then this is a K1C printer, high temperature enclosed printer for doing high temperature, high speed jobs. And I'll be putting this tray in here and firing up the filament, which is back in the back on this one. So looking up close to the print, I see that the head is down just a little bit too far, because I see that the head is pushing the material down. So I'm going to lower the table 1 notch. And so there, it's 0.05 millimeters or 0.01 millimeters. I'm going to go the 0.01 millimeters, and I'm going to go 3 times down. So 0.03 millimeters down. And what that'll do, so the main thing when you're in this screen is that the Z is table. Table up, table down. And you can go back to the home page. Go back. This is your main page. Nozzle's running at 214, table's running at 43, both centigrade. Feed rate's at 80. After the first layer or two, I'll kick it up to 100. The Z is set there. That's where we were just playing with the Z there. And there's nothing to do over here at this time while it's running. Okay, I'm going to fire up this printer. The power is off right now. There's no build plate on the table, and there's no spool.